Christy, what you up to?
Hey, we're moving hives.
Moving hives,
Yeah.
okay.
So these hives have been in the blueberries for the last 2 weeks. This is the last set that we've put through. There are still a few buds in the orchard, but they've got a couple of resident hives that will take care of that. So the main work is all done. This is heavy. I'm going to go put it down.
Put your back into it.
Right, so these hives will now go to an avocado orchard, not for pollination, but so that they can build up now going into spring. So
the blueberries are quite, pollination on blueberries is quite strenuous on the bees, isn't
yeah,
it?
so basically the protein in the pollen of the blueberries is not very nutritious. So the queen reduces her laying significantly. And even the babies that she does raise are not necessarily very strong. So these hives will all get a pollen patty and a banana in each when they go to the avocado orchard. And then we'll keep a close eye on them for the next couple of weeks to make sure that they bounce back.
Why are you breathing so heavily?
Well, because I've just loaded 5 hives pretty much on my own. Thanks, Brian. Yeah.
Good. Okay,
Anyway.
so the blueberries aren't the best for. And what other pollination crop is not so hot for the bees?
Also kiwifruit. Kiwifruit also flowers around this time in this area. So that also, in fact, you've got to feed a sugar supplement when they're in the kiwis. Here at the blueberries, we can get away. We should actually feed a sugar supplement, and in some of the orchards we do that. But this orchard, the whole top is open, so the bees are able to forage elsewhere as well as within the orchard. So we don't feed as heavily as we do in others where it's completely closed in.
Okay.
In those ones we put a sugar supplement which has got a probiotic and amino acids and everything added to make sure that they keep the energies up.
And what about pollen content on kiwis and blueberries? Is there any?
Both of them are very low in protein.
Okay.
So not very, and if with the kiwis, if there's anything else flowering around, they won't go to the kiwis. They'll rather choose something else. So a lot of the farms get rid of even clover, blackjack, anything that's in the orchard. So there's really no other food supplement for the bees. So yeah.
So with the pollination in terms of compared to, let's say, avos and macadamia and stuff like that, is the rate that the beekeeper charges the farmer a higher rate, or is it pretty much the same?
Look, it normally is, because we have to spend quite a bit more in supplements to build them up before they come in here, and then we spend a lot in supplements building them up after the fact. So it is a lot more strenuous on the bees. Some beekeepers, those hives are lost to them afterwards because they don't recover easily at all. So it is very hard on the bees. Things like avo and macadamia and even things like
lychee?
Sorry?
Maybe lychee?
Lychees, yeah, all of those will be will help the bees, and you might even get some honey off of those crops. Whereas with the blueberries, you're almost sacrificing your honey crop. These bees will not produce honey this year at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and also the other thing with the blueberries compared to the other fruit, do they need it just as much as what the others do, or is it all very much of a muchness? So the crop itself.
So the crop is very reliant on bees, and the recommendation is 4 to 6 hives per hectare.
Wow,
for blueberries. So it is quite high, and obviously the older your orchard gets, the more strenuous it is. The more work the bees have to do.
Sure,
so
and
they do then increase the hives.
Okay. So and what about the preparation ahead of time? Do you just go grab any hive or your hives and just go and plonk them down, or is there a bit of preparation involved in terms of?
So most of our hives prior to the blueberries, it's very difficult to time as well because the flowering is for such a short period. So we literally, the farmer phones us like a week before and says, "Oh, my buds are almost ready. They're going to open." So we've got 1 week notice really that now they're definitely going.
Okay.
And this year they started quite a lot later than normal. So usually we come straight off the blue gum flow, so the hives are normally strong. But then this year we had a very big gap between the blue gum flow and when they needed them for the blueberries. So what we did is we continued feeding a nectar supplement. We also were feeding every 2 weeks a pollen patty, and just keeping an eye
keeping them strong.
Keeping them strong. But yeah, that all costs a lot of money. So last year we were very fortunate. They came straight off the blue gum flow. We checked them; they were all 100%, and they came straight into the blueberry orchard. So it was a lot easier. This year has been exceptionally hard on bees, and not just in KZN. I've just been in the Eastern Cape, and they were saying the same thing. There's almost no forage. They all supplement feeding their bees.
Wow.
And it's very worrying to know that that's
Season
where
so
all the beekeepers are sitting at the moment. So it puts the food at risk for all of us, because at the end of the day,
food security.
Our food security is at risk. If the bees aren't strong, they can't pollinate like they need to, which means the crops will be down, which means the price will be higher. And it all affects us in the end.
The price in the shops at the end of the day also goes up. So hoping for the best seasons, and hopefully that the spring kicks in
Early.
ASAP.
Yes, we need that spring flowering to start.
Good, thanks a
anyway,
lot.
guys, look after your bees. Subscribe to our channel to learn more about beekeeping in South Africa.